We haven't got the one
Yeah.
green signal, so we can
Okay, I
still...
refreshed YouTube and one of my old videos showed up and it has 6,000 views. Cool.
Jesus, what was the... Is it NASCAR 15?
No, it's something I recorded on a cruise ship.
Alright, we're getting back. 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to the TRRL eRacing Truck Series. Apologize for those mishaps there on the broadcast end. It's our bad, but I think we might have everything fixed for now. Just hit yellow a couple of laps ago involving Bucky Burt, and that brought out the recent yellow here just after the restart. And Jordan Kuntz still in your race lead, so if you're wondering where Jordan Kuntz is, he is still where he started this race, in P number 1. And it's really frozen the field. Ron Holmes did start second, fell all the way back, though, to 5th. So we'll just have to see how this goes. Of course, Kenneth Bueno, Francisco Bacallao with you here in the booth. And going to try to give all the rest of the coverage, and hopefully everyone can come by in enough time. But yellow out now, and we were just discussing the yellows on yellow situation, and it continues to be the trend, at least now for the most part. And we'll just have to see how that continues to develop. And now that we're getting here, we just got the one green signal, so we won't be getting Charlie Baier in for an interview. Gonna try to get it next time. We do have an opportunity to, so we'll just do so. But Francisco, back to that conversation. Yellows on yellows, probably something we might be expecting with now coming to 70 laps to go.
Yeah, you said we won't be able to get Charlie in for this interview. Don't jinx yourself. It might happen in a couple minutes with the way we're going here. But, you know, I hope we're able to get at least another green flag run. You know, it'll be a shame if this goes with a couple cautions to the end of this race. You know, we want to see some racing. But, you know, we have Jordan Kuntz in the lead. We have Charlie Baier in second. Travis Leons is in third. And Jackson Hartman, who's recovered from his mistakes to get back up to fourth. Let's see if he's able to avoid a mistake when it matters most and able to capitalize on it. Remember, he does have slightly fresher tires than our race leaders.
We're going to have to see how this works. Pace car is down to pit road. Kuntz elected the bottom groove, and he will take the green flag. Back here on lap number 130, Baier and Lone will have to fight for second as Hartman tries to peek into the party as well. And they're going to turn 1 and 2. Maybe still side by side. Baier's able to clear. Here comes Hartman, though, for third.
You can see the outside's just able to prevail whenever you're trying to make a pass on somebody. The 18's trying to get underneath Charlie Baier. He won't be able to get there, but he will clear the 51 truck, and it will settle in third for now.
Hartman now looking to the inside of Lone for P3. We were just looking at that. Maybe could have been an outside move, but it was not the case. He's going to look to the bottom groove as Potter's under the outside wall, trying to catch up to these two, but he's going to stay relatively consistent with these guys as now Baier has an opportunity to run down the race leader.
Yeah, let's see what happens here. Let's see if he'll be able to run him down, because in the previous runs, we've seen Jordan been able to pull multiple seconds on him, so we'll have to see if Charlie's able to make any sort of inroads on him. Oh,
whoa!
They're around!
Travis Lone is around on the racetrack. Caution is out once more, and it was definitely contact with Jackson Hartman in the 51, and that sets a yellow flag once more with just less than 70 laps to go in this race. Going to take a replay off of turn number 2. And this is exactly where it all started. Here's the battle with Jackson Hartman. Hartman tried to get back to the inside earlier, but I think it's just a difference here. Maybe trying to... Oh, actually just got loose there, and then the 51 tagged him and got into the wall himself. And the 18 went around as a result.
Yeah, it looked like the 51 had nowhere to go. The 18 was already sideways. Once again, turn 2 is catching everybody out today. I haven't seen a single turn catch so many drivers out like this in a single race this much.
Yeah, and the 18's going to have some rear end damage as a result. Most likely going to go down pit road. And meanwhile, the rest of the field actually will go down pit road. So Kuntz, Baier will get on a pit road as well as Hartman, though. Ryan Potter, Ruben Caceres, and Grayson Trexler elect to stay out. Ron Holmes as well, part of that group. And Bucky Burt, Travis Lone will be the drivers down pit road. So a split here between some drivers on the lead lap and the leaders at that point, with Kuntz and Baier and the rest of them there. They're going to head down pit road for this time by.
Considering we haven't had that many green flag laps the last 20 some odd laps, I think it's not that bad of a call compared to how it was in the stage 1 pit cycle. You know, there haven't been that many green flag laps on these tires, so maybe the guys who did stay out, like Ryan Potter, Ruben Caceres, Grayson Trexler, maybe they're just hoping for track position if it does go green as Charlie Baier stops at the end of pit road.
I'm not sure what Charlie Baier is doing here, but
Penalty?
now
Yeah.
he's going maybe a penalty just to let someone by. He lets the 18 by as a result. Kuntz, though, with an awfully slow stop, along with Hartman. I'm not sure what's going on here.
It's interesting. He's going to lose track position and to the guys who took tires at least, but you know, it's interesting. We'll have to make a note of that. But I think now we'll be able to bring in Charlie Baier.
Hartman is also just exiting pit road, so I'm not sure whether extra time was there or what, but Kuntz is not going to be in a position, he hasn't been all race long, behind other drivers, which is very odd to say. Actually, yes, he has been behind drivers tonight, but it did not take him long. If you saw that the fight earlier in this race between the drivers on the old tires and then Kuntz, who was on the new tires, he got by to the race lead in just one lap. So it did not take long at all for Kuntz, but it's going to be a lot of drivers to get through, and even some drivers who got fresh tires along the way, like Lonehay and like Baier, respectively. You know, the only ones to stay out are Potter, Caceres, and Trexler in that exchange. Trexler, though, with heavy damage, I'm surprised he did not want to go down pit road to get any of that fixed. But he is electing to stay out for now. Maybe the decision has changed, and no, I don't believe it has. He's just going to stay out here and stay out on the racetrack. So now with the split, does this open up a new strategy for Potter and the likes of Caceres and Trexler down the road?
We'll have to see until this goes green because, as I mentioned, we've had several cautions, so there hasn't been that many green flag laps on these tires, but we did see earlier in the race what tires meant when they had several laps on them. But this case is going to be different, so we'll have to see how this shakes out once we take the green flag. You know, we have Ryan Potter in the lead, Ruben Caceres in second, and Grayson Trexler in third. So Jordan Kuntz is going to be, I believe he's going to be in the 8th position. So we'll see how he's able to get through the traffic. He's going to be behind some people who also took tires, so he's not the first driver on brand new tires. So it's going to be interesting. It'll probably make for some entertainment.
It's going to be easy to see how that works, and we're still 2 to go. So we're going to get our chance to talk with Charlie Baier in just a moment. So we're going to bring him in and see what his thoughts are right now. And Charlie, welcome back to the KBRN booth. You got a copy with us first of all? You got us, Charlie?
Gotcha.
All right, Charlie. Well, now you've picked up all the way to 4th. Very bizarre pit stop sequence there because now Kuntz is behind you. You've got Ron Holmes in the mix. And lots of drivers decided to stay out. What's your strategy here now that you have a lot of drivers with old tires up front and you're the first driver right now on new tires with the 18 right up to your outside?
Yeah, I stopped at the end of pit road because I wanted to come out 6th, which I did. I let the 4 by. But then Jackson Hartman decided to pit. So now I'm going to start on the inside, which is not what I wanted. So I guess we're just going to have to see how it all plays out. And I guess the goal here is to keep the 99 behind us because, in my opinion, the 51, me, and Jordan are the 3 fastest on track right now. So as long as I keep them behind me, I think we have a shot.
All right, well, I believe you got the 1 to green. So we're going to wish you luck, and we're going to let you take the green flag. Good luck out there. Oh, well, he's gone, but we've got the 1 to green signal, so easily out of the booth goes Charlie Baier, and easily into the green flag leads Ryan Potter with Ruben Caceres right to his outside. We are back under the green flag once again here on lap number 137.
They're already going 3 wide back there between Jackson Hartman and Charlie Baier. He did mention him, and there's the 3 wide right there. You can see Jordan Kuntz and Jackson Hartman to the inside of that 18 truck. And Charlie Baier just in front of him. Contact with Grayson Trexler and Charlie Baier. And he's going to save it. Contact with Jordan Kuntz. Kuntz is around.
Kuntz is around on the racetrack along with Trexler, and damage to that 99 as a caution waves on lap 138. First time we've seen Jordan Kuntz with any sort of damage in our broadcasting tenure with TRRL. What a sequence there. Oh my goodness, I cannot believe that.
Well, that just throws a wrench into this race. He has damage. He's going to have to pit and repair it. I believe this started with Charlie Baier and Grayson Trexler. You can see Grayson was, this is a bit earlier in 1 and 2. There was a little bit of contact with Ruben Caceres. But here we go, down into 3 and 4. Charlie going for the move, and he just kind of clips him. He's sideways, and he's just about to save it, and then Jordan has nowhere to go. I don't think he has much damage on that 99 truck as maybe we would have first thought, but regardless, he's probably going to have to come down pit road and repair some damage on that right side of the truck. But, wow, that just throws a spanner into everything we've been covering here tonight.
He sees it on board with Kuntz just as Trex is about to save the car. He gets into it late. And then that sends both of them around, resulting in that yellow. Wow. I cannot believe that. As they're all down pit road, Potter and Caceres, the drivers who did stay out on that last pit stop sequence, they are still out. They did not decide to go down pit road. Baier, though, and leading the rest of this field that went down pit road recently with those newer tires. So he's gonna be third on this exchange. Travis Loney will be fourth. Hartman will be fifth. Ron Holmes in his sixth, where he has really not moved ever since. And then there's Kuntz with damage to his race truck.
Just after that spin, you saw Jordan showing his displeasure with Grayson Trexler. They're the top two in the points, and they were caught up in that wreck. So, the two at the top colliding, and you can tell he was not very happy about that. Probably felt that he kind of turned down, even though he was in the middle of saving his race car. There was nothing that could have done differently by either one. I think that's just a byproduct of someone trying to save their race car, and the other one trying his best to avoid him, but to no avail.
So they're out on pit road, and just to go back to something that really has nothing to do with these races, something a little more personal, and I think for me and you, Francisco, it means a lot. The Miami Heat are going to the NBA Finals. They beat Boston in 6 games just recently. I don't know what the score is exactly, since I haven't been on my phone, I haven't been looking at any sports. The only thing I have on my TV is currently the NASCAR Cup Series race at Las Vegas. So that's still going on. I believe the race is just about under 15 to go. I believe they're still under yellow flag. So they're about to end their race, but the Heat are going to the finals. That is just insane. They'll face off against the Los Angeles Lakers against LeBron. It's going to be Pat Riley owning his Miami team, and LeBron and AD with the grand Lakers and how good they've been all season. What a matchup that's going to be.
Yeah, I'll take this moment while we're under caution to talk about that. The Miami Heat are my second favorite basketball team behind the Golden State Warriors because they are my home team. I will always cheer for the home team, even if they're not my number one. But I'm so happy to see the Heat back in the finals for the first time since 2014. The Lakers are back in the finals for the first time since 2010. It's going to be an interesting matchup. We got the likes of Jimmy Butler probably going to be matched up against LeBron James. You got Bam Adebayo versus Anthony Davis down low. And then you got your guards. You got Tyler Hero, Goran Dragic, and Danny Green for the Lakers, and Rajon Rondo. So it's going to be an interesting matchup. Rondo has a lot of finals experience. He's an NBA champion, with the Celtics, which got eliminated by the Heat. So, I'm interested in this finals. It's going to be a great final series, in my opinion. And you want to make any predictions?
Oh man, in all honesty, I love the Heat. Obviously, they're my favorite team. It's my home team. Of course, I always support them. I've been supporting them for a bunch of years now. I love them, but in all honesty, realistically, the Lakers might have it for the championship. I mean, the Heat will put up a fight because the Heat are a valiant team. They have so many young guys, so many gritty guys on their team, and they have a mix of both veterans and young guns, and they have a lot of depth in their team. So they will put up a fight, but the Lakers are very strong with the likes of LeBron. They're going to have AD on their team as well. They have a lot of key players that have really shown out in these playoffs, like you mentioned with Rondo and so many others along the way that have been showing up in these playoffs. So going to be interesting, and that's going to be insane in the bubble, really. We really did not expect this. Everyone was saying probably Clippers Bucks, maybe Lakers Bucks, but never Lakers Heat at all.
I was one of those people.
All right, well, nonetheless, pace car will be coming off here soon off turn number 4. We're going to be reaching almost 50 laps to go into the end of this race. Ryan Potter and Ruben Caceres will lead the field of green. Charlie Baier and Travis Loney will be behind. Green flag is back here at Iowa.
This will be the first opportunity to see who's able to take over the lead of this race and be able to pull away if we're able to get a green flag run. Charlie Baier was hanging on with Jordan Kuntz a couple of those runs. You can see him going to the inside of Ryan Potter as Ruben Caceres is the race leader. And the 18 truck trying to go around the outside through a contact. Charlie Baier to the 18.
Whoa, contact there between Ryan Potter and Charlie Baier sends him around, and the 18. Caution flag flies. Bucky Burke gets in here late. And a collection of cars there as Ruben Caceres takes the race lead and Jordan Kuntz picks up to second.
Wow. Just when you think it's over, that's racing. I mean, we saw there was contact. They were about to go 3 wide, and he just got hooked in the right rear. He had it saved, but then there was just more contact with the 18 truck, and it finished them both off. I mean, you just never know until it's over, right? I mean, we still got a ways to go, and you just keep having cautions, which goes back to what we said at the start of the stage.
Let's see what happened here. This is right off of turn number 4. There were 3 wide with Potter and Lonehay. I think Potter just goes down, tags the 52, and then obviously the 7 of Charlie Baier has nowhere to go in this case. You see there were 2 wide. Caceres takes the lead to the outside in a 3. And then Lonehay takes the high groove. He gets a run off of turn 4. Maybe something that neither the 52 or the 94 expected. But, oh, that's hard to judge.
It's just a shame. You know,
And then I apologize. Go ahead.
No, it's all right.
Yeah, Bucky Bird tags the grass here and goes around. See right here, just gets in the grass hard into the outside wall. Almost gets Baier, and again. Wow.
Hopefully he's able to repair his truck. You know, I don't know how much time he may have, but it's going to be a decent amount of repairs he'll have to do for both him and the 18 truck. But Ruben Caceres leading the race. Jordan Kuntz in second, and Holmes is up to third. So the running order has been shuffled multiple times in this final stage. Could we see it shuffle a couple more times? I think yes.
Yeah, it's for sure going to shake up so much. And first time Caceres has been in the lead this entire race. Remember he was 1 lap down at one point in stage 1, then got the lucky dog at the end of stage 1 since the yellow did come out. I believe went 1 lap down in stage 2 with Bucky Burt, and then he's got his laps back. He went all the way back to the lead lap around this time, and now he's up to first here. He took the race lead over Ryan Potter there, and Kuntz will be forced to be second now on this one. I'm very, very questioned right now about really what's going on. So many things are happening at once.
Yeah, I wish that this race could have, at least in stage 3, could have been a bit cleaner. I mean, I think we've taken longer to do this third stage than we have any of the first 2 stages, so it's a bit unfortunate from that aspect, you know, but we still got a ways to go, so maybe there's still room to be able to do so. You know, with what we're seeing, it could not be ruled out that we could see a surprise winner at this rate, especially.
Also, just back to the conversation of the Miami Heat going to the finals. I just got final score, or at least I just saw the final score. Heat win 125-113, so they walk away a 12-point lead to finish that game off and beat the Celtics in 6 to go to the finals. The crazy thing about that, though, Francisco, is that I was looking on Twitter before this series started, after the Heat got by the Bucks and the Celtics beat the Raptors in 7 games. First thing I saw as that series was about to start on Twitter, it was trending before the series, before the first game was even played, Heat in 6. And I was like, okay, maybe, but it'll probably go up to 7, maybe. Then when the Heat went 3-1, I was like, okay, they can close this off in 5. Then they lose in game number 5, and then they come to game number 6. They win here tonight. Boy, Twitter really called that one. They really predicted that one. Heat in 6.
Yeah, I just got the notification myself from the NBA app, but you know, I want to make my prediction for the finals. You know, realistically, I think the Lakers will probably win this in 6 games. I think the Heat will be their biggest challenge of these playoffs because we've seen the Heat overcome some opponents that the media has deemed to be stronger than them. You know, they've been ruled out for most of these playoff series, yet they've been able to pull off the series wins. So I think the Heat will definitely offer a challenge of 6 games. You know, my personal bias wants to say Heat in 7, but you never know until you step on the court because, you know, if you win a game, especially that first one, you just set the tone for the rest of the series. So I hope it's a good finals. I think this will be a historic finals because it'll be in the bubble, in a crazy year that we've been having in 2020 with everything involved around the world. So, you know, can't rule anything out.
You definitely can't rule anything out, and nothing is really guaranteed, especially in the NBA bubble. But speaking of predictions, Francisco, I'm going to ask you once more, any further predictions for this race now that we've got 50 laps to go?
2 words, Jordan Kuntz. I think he's going to win this race. He's got damage, but you can see he's already back up to second, and he's we can't ignore that pace he had at the start of this race. I think, especially if he's able to get back to the lead, I don't think he's going to let anybody relinquish it as Ruben Caceres takes off for the green flag.
Back under green here at Iowa with just 50 laps remaining in this one. Caceres gets off to a launching start, which is the first time we've seen that all night long. Kunsto will have to settle for second with that damage. We'll see if he's able to pick up as another yellow comes out, possibly within the realm of Bucky Burt. Actually, it is Ryan Potter in the number 94 machine.
Add that to the list of cautions we've already had tonight. What's the counter at?
Oh, man.
So
We'll just have to check. It's been way too many.
Let's see what happened here. We're at the start-finish line. He's running third right now behind the 99. Jordan Smith, and he just loses it on the entry of turn 1. And he overcorrects it into the outside wall.
Yeah, just tried to save it, and then it just was not enough there. We'll take a look at the gyro cam, see the cockpit throughout this. And most of these incidents don't even involve other drivers. It's involving just drivers getting loose on their own in these initial starts, especially when the tires are fresh. Ryan Potter trying to save it, then back out, overcorrects into the outside wall, and fortunately collects nobody else. Just a one-car incident on that one. So back under the yellow flag. Nobody elects to go down pit road, and we've seen a lot of splits. But Caceres, though, I think he might have the smart decision here, because if you're expecting more yellows like this to happen, you're looking for short runs, short runs, short runs. And even on the short runs, the older tires with Caceres, and now with maybe that it's burnt up for Kuntz, it could allow Caceres to stay out front. And as the yellows keep going out, the field continues to be frozen. So Caceres might have the upper hand on this one.
Yeah, not to mention the heat cycles that I mentioned earlier in the race, that whenever you take off, the tires get warmed up. And if you have to back down immediately, that's a heat cycle. It doesn't exactly damage the tires, but it takes away all that extra bit of grip you get at the start of the run. So it takes away the extra speed that you can get out of them, and it kind of levels it out just a bit. The only way that you'll typically keep an advantage through a heat cycle is if the tire advantage is very large, which it isn't, because we've seen so many cautions, and Ruben Caceres is going to come down pit road.
Actually, he's going to fake it out this time. So maybe trying to lead others down pit road in a ditch effort, but Caceres will actually not decide to pit. He will stay out on this one. He'll stay out here on lap 154. We'll probably go green around 150, I'd say 156 at that point. Now, speaking of which, Charlie Baier has repaired his race car. I believe the fast repair is in effect for him. So he's back to the top 5, and we'll try to get him back in. And Francisco, I'll let you take this one away.
Hey, Charlie, this is Francisco from the KBRN booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you.
You were involved in a 3-wide wreck on the front straightaway. We saw it was tight racing. You got just barely clipped on the right rear. Can you talk about what happened there?
Yeah. You know, we were ahead of the 99 and the 51, which is what I wanted, but I guess it just kind of played out to what it did. So it sucks. We're going to be back here in 5th on this restart. So I mean, I guess we'll try. We'll try for a top 3, but you know, as long as we get a long green flag going, I'm confident that we can get up there. But right now, it's not looking good for us. So yeah, we'll see.
With all these cautions that we've been having, what does that affect into your strategy? You know, we have 1-2 laps and then we get a caution. So how does it impact your choice on when to pit, really?
Strategies. I want to get this done so I can watch it run in the NASCAR race. But no, I think that this series can really use tire sets because everyone's just kind of dipping down, getting tires. You know, maybe if you have like a 6 or 5 tire limit, then that would really play into effect. Everyone can just dip down, get fresh tires, and run through the field. So that's just my critique. That's my 2 cents. But you know, I'm still having fun out here. I like this racetrack, but we're out of fast repairs, so another wreck is going to take us out of it.
We hear you here, Charlie. So we're hoping you're able to climb back through the field. You had a good truck, so hopefully you get a finish that you deserve. So good luck, and we'll be watching up here.
All right, enjoy the show, guys.
Good luck. 105. Whoa. You know, that almost reminded me of the F1 race at Mugello's. We got the leaders crashing. Everyone's in it. Everyone's in it. Wow. 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 That's the big one. That's the last thing we needed. We've seen so many single car wrecks, maybe 2-car wrecks. The big one finally happens, and quite literally, everybody was involved. Started with the leaders, I believe. You know, I was making a reference how that restart reminded me of Mugello in the F1 race 2 weeks ago, where the stack up right as they go, and I guess they finished off the point for me because just like in Mugello, there was a big crash with about this many cars involved too. Oh man, you could just see good record avoidance there. I'd like to momentarily let our viewers be aware, if you are watching this race and not the NASCAR Cup Series race, Kurt Busch has won at Las Vegas, his first win at his home track. Matt DiBenedetto was second, Denny Hamlin in third, Mark Truex Jr. fourth, and Alex Bowman was the top 5. And there's yeah. And there's Kyle Busch coming up, dooring him on the side, letting his brother know that he appreciates the Busch name being able to win at their home track. So the brothers are definitely going to celebrate this one tonight. And no, I was just going to say it's his first win at Las Vegas, so it'll mean a lot to him. So I just want to make a quick point. So Jordan Kuntz was able to keep his fast repair. He used it here, so he's got a fresh truck. Ryan Potter made it through unscathed. He's got a fresh truck. it's going to be interesting for the rest of these guys with their damaged trucks to see what goes on. Because, well, depending who's even left, because right now we're looking at 4 trucks up here. The only 2 cars that don't have damage, a little bit of contact there. I don't think they've been learning their lesson. Jordan Kuhn's being very aggressive, and he's going to clear him, I think, right here. No. Yes, he gets him, but here comes a crossover. Whoa! It's a shame for him. Once again, another mistake takes him out just as he climbs back into the battle for the win. You can see Ryan Potter going up a little bit up the track in turn 2. So just when you thought it was gone from Jordan Kuhn, it comes right back to him, back into the control of this race, back in the lead. Now it's about, can this race go green for him? You can see everyone is so spread out now. Ryan Potter seems to be struggling a little bit off turn 2. I feel like he's getting a little bit wide off there. I mean, he's trying to push all he can to try and catch Jordan Kuhn. He knows this is his opportunity to get up there because now that everyone is spread out, who knows if there's going to be a caution or not. With the trends we've been having, maybe, but I believe we're about to tie the longest run that we've had in Stage 3. has been nothing short of what he's been all season. He's had a couple of run-ins. You know, everyone's had a run-in tonight. I think that's safe to say. But he's back where he belongs. He's leading this race. He's going to extend his points lead if he's able to keep it under him. Grayson Trexler is lower down in the running order right now, which is he was second in points. So Jordan right now is hoping that there's no more cautions to the end of this race so he can pick up his third straight win to open the season. And it's impressive when you're able to win 2 in a row to start the season. 3 in a row to start the season just sends a message for everyone.
And it's really a message when he's gaining so many points along the road with 3 straight wins, most of them being and most stage wins of all time apart from Trexler in this season. He's getting so many points that it's probably hard to comprehend on everybody behind him. Remember, if you look back to the points graphic, and we'll look at that right at the center of the screen, we'll look back to it a couple of more times maybe. Kuntz started this race 128 points to his name. Trexler was 27 points behind, and we were talking about how Trexler needed these stage points, how he needed the points to get up and at least try to soften the blow to Kuntz. But at this point, with everything that's happened, with all the drama that's ensued, and with everything that's really gone on, Kuntz looks to be just really just growing his lead at that point, and it's really going to make it to the point where it's probably going to look very, very daunting to even try to catch up to him. As now we got a yellow with 20 laps to go.
It's the 25.
Bucky Bird involved in this one as a caution waves once more on lap 181 of 200. Gonna take a replay, see what happened here with the 25 of Bucky Bird.
Well, this is payback. If you remember, it's earlier in the race.
This is with Grayson Trexler, turn 1, and no explanation for that one whatsoever.
Yep. That's definitely payback. If you remember earlier in the race when 25 was racing them when he was 2 laps down, I think he realized that this was probably the best time to get his payback. You don't want to see this happen, but as a racer, sometimes this is usually what's going on through your mind when you're on the racetrack. It's a bit unfortunate, but it's part of it, I guess.
Bert's still on the racetrack though, and I think it's insult to injury now for Bert because so much damage. You see how much damage there is on that Ford F-150. It has taken a beating tonight. As we've got everybody down pit road, so we'll take pit stops this time by. Bert will stay out. Everyone else will come in as Trexler turns Charlie Baier at the entrance of pit road.
Even under caution, we're having drama.
I'm not sure what happened there between Trexler and Baier. I'm not sure whether that was accidental or what. But Trexler seems to be not happy whatsoever with his situation. Kuntz will lead the field down pit road. You can see the distance there between where he was in second place and Ron Holmes. Hartman will come in. You see the 54 Trexler come in. Charlie Baier come in.
I think the only
Potter, though, will come out.
Oh, he takes 2 tires.
Potter takes 2 on the way out of pit road. Kuntz will take 4. He'll come out second. Ron will be third. And then 4th Hartman. Possibly 5th and 6th to battle with Baier and Trexler there.
I was just going to get ready to say that I believe that the only person who might be happy after this race will be Jordan Kuntz. But he just lost the lead on pit road due to 2 tires by Potter. So we'll see if that'll work. We've seen before that no tires and 2 tires were a bit questionable after about 20 laps. It's been about 20 laps since we had the last caution of this race to this point. So right around that mark that we saw it earlier in stage 1. So we'll see if Potter is able to make it work this time or if Jordan Kuntz makes quick work of him.
All gonna have to see as we approach 16 laps to go in this race. Lap 184. And Francisco, we were under commercial break and we were just talking about how long this stage is compared to what we saw in stage 1 and stage 2. And we were probably expecting it to stay where stage 1 and stage 2 was. Stage 1, of course, had some yellows around there, but it was just maybe about 2 or 3. And then it came stage 2 where there was 1 yellow in the opening portion on that restart. And then it was green all the way out, flag to flag at that point. And then coming to stage 3, just chaos all over the track. We're going to take a look at our race summary presented by Supermix. Of course, your leader is Ryan Potter. You saw him take 2 tires to take this lead over Jordan Kuntz down pit road. We've completed 183 laps, 17 laps to go here. We've had 13 lead changes, including on track and on pit road. We've had 13 yellows, 61 laps under the yellow flag. Two to green this time by, I believe. We'll probably take a restart. Lap 187. as pace car will lead the field down. And this is not the case, Francisco, where the iRacing system does not have a thing to slow down yellows at tracks like these. They did implement one to shorten the yellows at tracks that are 2 miles or longer. So, of course, tracks like Michigan, tracks like Auto Club, Talladega, Daytona, those have situations and methods that iRacing implemented to shorten the yellows, make them a little bit shorter, so that you can maybe go 1 or 2 laps under yellow, then go straight back to the green flag, and you won't really miss anything. It won't be too long pacing behind the pace car. But in this instance, at a short track like this, these caution laps are very, very lengthy, very long, and you can see the effect on how it's taken on the drivers tonight.
Yeah, we're coming to 1 to green here, so let's just re-clarify what's going on here for any viewers who may have not tuned in by the time that caution came out. So Ryan Potter, he was running second prior to this caution. He took 2 tires to come out as the race leader. We have Jordan Kuntz, been the dominant driver of the day. Everybody was involved in the big one, but he was the only one who had a fast repair left after that. He used it right then and there, and he has a solid car here to go for the win and 4 tires. In third, we have Holmes in the 33 truck. He got a bit of a break at some point in the middle of the race, and he's been able to keep up the track position. You can see there's only 4 trucks up here, and then you have the 51 of Jackson Hartman in that 4th position, who Jordan Kuntz said was probably his biggest threat to win this race, but has just made so many mistakes anytime he gets close to him. So it's crunch time. It's crunch time. Less than 15 to go. Now or never.
Everyone else joining the party from 4th on back. Potter and Kuntz will be the one leading the field to the green flag on what might be the final restart to the checkered flag. We'll just have to see. Green flag waves once more at the hands of Ryan Potter, and he will take the race lead as Jordan Kuntz and Hartman are going to fight for second already into turn 1.
They're trying to be the first to get to Ryan Potter. Potter starts,
Whoa!
and then he takes out Jordan Kuntz upside down into the air.
Kuntz is flying on the racetrack. Caution is obviously out. That could have been a safety hazard for that pork the other white meat sign, but a huge flip for Jordan Kuntz possibly will take him out of the race for good.
Oh, yeah.
And it will eliminate him from contention, a blown engine, and a used fast repair. Oh, my goodness.
What a shame. He felt like he was going to get that one. He was going around the outside of him. Ryan Potter just got sideways. You see, he got a great launch on this restart. Jordan Kuntz didn't get that great of a launch. You can see Jackson Hartman going to his inside. They're side by side trying to be the first to attack him, but he's already sideways. And then he overcorrects it into Jordan Kuntz. Jackson Hartman takes the lead. You can see into the fence, upside down, up and over. It's just...
Wow.
Wow.
It's very bizarre. And once again, another case of Potter overcorrecting the car. We saw this doing by himself, but this time in traffic. You see him get loose in turn 1. Once again, overcorrects here into Jordan Kuntz. And oh my goodness, Kuntz goes flying into the Chevy Premier sign on the fence. Unbelievable situation. Potter, though, got very, very hard damage. And Jackson Hartman and Ron Holmes survive all of that.
For all the mistakes that Jackson Hartman's made tonight, that's his first big break. His main rival for this race win may have just been knocked out of this race, I believe. I think he's 2 laps down. So he got lucky. So now he has to take advantage of the position he's in and seize it, because he's got Holmes behind him. He's got Baier behind him. They all have damage from that big one because they had used their fast repairs. You can see the 25 back there. So it comes down to who's able to not make a mistake.
And it has been dependent on mistakes all night long. Most of the yellows have been results of mistakes. So we saw drivers getting loose, getting spun around. Most of the drivers making some errors along the way, maybe communication errors with drivers, other drivers on track. Seen our fair share of incidents, seen our fair share of aggressiveness and retaliation. When you saw Trexler tap away at Bucky Burt in turn 1 and spun him around on that. So we've seen all of it here at Iowa. But what this means here with this yellow is that we're going to get the green flag with most likely less than 10 laps to go. And now that the field continues to shrink, now Jordan Kuntz is probably out of this for good. Baier, Trexler, Burt, Potter, and Holmes, and Hartman are the only drivers left on track. But Potter will most likely not be a case in this restart unless he has a fast repair, which I don't think he does have. So we'll just have to see.
I tell you what, Jordan is probably not going to be too happy with Grayson Trexler, because that was what brought out that caution that led Ryan Potter to take 2 tires. So, and a bit of payback. led to a caution, led to that restart, led to that incident. And that's how we ended up in this current position. You see a couple guys on pit road repairing any damages, possibly just trying to take any tires. So we're going to have less than 10 laps to go when we take the green here. You see, I think they're at the 2 to go mark because you still see the lights on. You see Ryan Potter is still smoking, probably because he does not have his fast repair left. And I think he's just trying to get lucky, really, because if anything gets unhinged here, then I think he can get a decent finish. I don't think he's going to luck his way into a win with another big one like we saw earlier in this race. But who knows? We've seen so much in this third stage. Who knows?
Well, it's all dependent on if the 94 machine has a fast repair to his advantage. I haven't seen him use it yet, although he's had damage when he overcorrected the race car the first time. I'm not sure whether he did get a fast repair, but I'm pretty sure he did. So that 94 will for sure have to go down pit road at some point because that engine's smoking. As soon as he gets up to speed, it's going to blow, and he's going to be out of this race for good. So at least just try to get something fixed as Trexler and Baier will follow suit to pit road. They pitted a lap earlier, but they're topping off on maybe some more damage repair. Man, this has been anarchy.
It's a race of attrition.
And look who's the cleanest truck. It's Ron Holmes on this racetrack.
Yeah,
he's the cleanest truck in this entire race.
Who would have thought? He got a bit of a break, and he has taken the opportunity. So with the cleanest truck, who knows? Maybe because of that clean truck and a little bit of extra speed in it compared to that damage that the 51 may have, I think, on the rear bumper on the side. Maybe he can get up there and challenge him. Who knows? We know not to rule anything out with this late in the race.
And he definitely can't rule anything out whatsoever. Ron Holmes, even with that clean race car, he hasn't been very quick. He hasn't been lightning quick all night long, but he's been there. He's been able to maintain top 5. He's been able to stay within his grounds, at least with his pace so far. Who knows? Maybe if Hartman is forced into a mistake, maybe if something else happens that affects that 51's performance, that 33 could be the second-hand driver, and he could walk away with a win here and his first win of the season. As we've got one to green, but the ticker is signaling a green flag, so maybe just a little bit confused scoring and timing-wise. Also, drivers did go down pit road. A lot of them did go down pit road. So, one to green now this time by. We've yet to reach the green flag just yet. Or maybe they did delay the yellow flag. Possibly could have been the case. But I guess 2 trucks will lead the field to green. Yeah,
Jordan Kuntz is out of this race. He's 6 laps down. That's unfortunate for him. This will be the first time this season that he does not get the win. You hate it for him, because he came out here dominating. He's had good speed, and to not come away with a win, it's definitely disappointing. Which, then again, when you look back in hindsight, when you're not in this adrenaline for racing, you'll realize you got 2 wins. You got a good points lead. Just focus next time out on Lucas Oil Speedway next Sunday for him. But we still got a race on our hands here. 5 laps to go when they get to the green, and here comes Jackson Hartman.
Jackson Hartman takes the green flag and ahead of steam all already in a turn 1. Very clear. Baier tries to get to the inside of the 33 for a second. So you have enough. Maybe it could be a battle within these final 5 laps if the 52 is able to catch up. Trexler might be able to get by that 33 in time. But now it's all up to the 52 to try to catch one of the strongest cars all night, apart from Jordan Kuntz.
4 laps to go. Jackson Hartman has about a 1 second lead over Charlie Baier. It's going to be hard for Charlie Baier to be able to close this gap unless there's another caution. I don't think he's going to be able to get there, or unless the 51 makes a mistake. All these cars are junked for that matter, except for the 33, but he's really far back right now.
Hartman off turn 4. We'll reach about 3 laps to go, and I think just seeing Holmes is almost trying to get by Baier. Baier is definitely slow on these straightaways. I believe he's got engine damage, so he's just trying to muster what he can for now. Could be a possible top 3. And right now, the scoring is very awkward at the moment as we get 3 laps to go this time by for the 51 of Hartman.
Jordan Kuntz said this was probably the fastest guy on the track, and when you know it, despite Jordan dominating, despite all the wrecks that are happening, despite all the mistakes, it's 3 laps to go, and here he is finding himself with the lead on his way to win this race.
Holmes there. Hartman takes 2 laps to go. Gets by Bucky Burt. Hartman just trying to walk away with a win here tonight and do whatever he can to take his first win in this season. after struggling at the road course last week, it definitely could be a comeback as he comes back to the white flag one more time around Iowa.
Yeah, you can't fault his effort. Despite all the mistakes he's made tonight, despite the wrecks, despite the damages, despite Jordan Kuntz being as fast as he was, he got a break, and he has taken advantage of it. Down the backstretch for the final time. This is going to be a good win for him.
Jackson Hartman will loop the bottom in 3 and 4 and will take his first win in the TRRL eRacing Truck Series, letting Bucky Burt by in the process. The 51 wins, maybe could have run out of fuel there, was very slow, but nonetheless, Jackson Hartman is your winner at Iowa.
Race of attrition. Good job, Jackson.
Wow. In a chaotic stage 3 that took us a very long time, probably over an hour, in fact. Results in the 51 taking his win, and Jordan Kuntz's streak ends here tonight at the short track in heartbreaking fashion. Hartman going to go down to the front straightaway in front of all the virtual fans and give them a burnout of the ages. Baier, Holmes crossing the line still. Baier's going to give him a celebratory bump and probably going to do some burnouts as well with his fellow friend. And Hartman will burn it down. He is your winner tonight here at Iowa. Going to take a look at the results and see exactly where everybody finished and what a race we had in terms of everybody in finishing positions. Hartman will finish in first. Ron Holmes will finish second, bounce back, and what a run. Charlie Baier with that damaged race truck will come home third on the podium spot. Bucky Burt finishes fourth. Grayson Trexler comes home fifth. Then Potter sixth. Jordan Kuntz seventh after that crash, 13 laps down. Ruben Casera is eighth. Travis Lone finishes ninth. Alex Bonsignor rounds out the top 10.
For your non-top 10 finishers of tonight's race, you have Connor Holden in 11th. You have Henry Tabor in 12th and Ty Smith in 13th.
So those are all the drivers that conclude this race, and a very short field and a long 200-lapper. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back with post-race coverage here at the KBueno Racing Network. And stay tuned, we got a lot more coming soon. And you are watching the TRRL eRacing Truck Series live from the Iowa Speedway. Welcome back to the Iowa Speedway, where we have just concluded our race here for the TRRL eRacing Truck Series, and where we start our KBRN post-race coverage, brought to you by SDC. And a race definitely full of attrition and aggression here tonight for the short track here at Iowa. And we're going to start with the driver up in victory lane, Jackson Hartman, his first win of the season. And Hartman, welcome to the booth, and congratulations on your win tonight. And what a race you had, fighting with Jordan Coons. You were one of the only drivers that really were able to get up to Jordan Coons. You had some mistakes along the way, but just walk us through that final stint and really how crazy it was for you.
Well, as you say, I had some mistakes. There were a decent amount of them. The spinning off of every restart, that was exciting. But I just kind of got lucky, I feel like. The first 100 laps racing with Jordan was a ton of fun. I mean, he was super quick, and we were about the same on that stage 2. But once we got to stage 3, I made a decent amount of mistakes and just wasn't able to hang up there. And then everyone just kind of started to kill each other in the last 50 laps. But I kind of feel like I lucked into this one. He was definitely the car to beat, and he was quick. But he unfortunately got taken out at a bad time.
Well, yeah, there was a huge wreck down the back straightaway, including practically every driver on the track. But in general, Jackson, just kind of tell us how this race went in its entirety. We talked about stage 1, some yellows there, but maybe not as much. Stage 2 was relatively clean, and then all the way to stage 3 where we saw the absolute chaos. But just tell us how your car and how your truck really felt throughout this entire run in each separate occasion as the track started to change and as the tires started to wear in those longer runs.
In stage 1, it felt good. I just felt like I could roll the center a lot better, especially on the bottom, than a decent amount of the other people did. And a lot of people like to run the top, which kind of burned their tires, and then they try to run the bottom where you just kind of couldn't. So I like to stick to the bottom to try to save my tires as much as I could. I mean, stage 1 was fun. That caution in the middle helped with tire strategy that no one really knew what was going to happen once we got to stage 2, because that one was pretty much, for the most part, that was the longest amount of laps we put on our tires that race. And by the end of that stage, I had nothing for Jordan. I was killing him, trying to stay with him, and then I was just kind of making mistakes and kept dropping back to him before the end of stage 2. And then stage 3, it's just those first few laps on the tires are just cold, and you saw it a lot with a lot of people that just didn't have the grip exiting the corner but wouldn't lift. I mean, I did that a couple times. That just hung in it, and then you see people spinning and wrecking each other and dying, or the people that lost it going into the corner. It was honestly kind of entertaining to watch from being in the car, but it was a ton of fun racing these guys tonight.
Certainly very chaotic, not only for the drivers in the booth, but for drivers on the track, but for us in the booth, just insane. Francisco and I just reacting to every moment there. But Jackson, before we let you go and celebrate here at Iowa and your victory tonight, you got anybody you'd like to thank, any team sponsors, or pretty much anyone you'd just like to shout out for tonight's effort?
I want to thank Jordan for racing me clean there. It was a ton of fun racing him. I guess I want to thank Ruben for making Jordan use his first fast repair, and then I guess thank Ryan for finishing him off. And then obviously thank you guys for announcing.
All right, Jackson, well, we thank you for taking the time to talk with us. And, of course, congratulations on your first win of the season here tonight. Go celebrate. We wish you the best of luck going into next week. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Jackson Hartman, a winner here tonight at Iowa. I'm going to look back on trackside where we'll pick up second place Ron Holmes, and he is trackside with Francisco.
Hey, Ron, this is Francisco in the KBRN booth. You got us? I'll try one more time. Hey, Ron, this is Francisco in the KBRN booth. You got us?
Yes, sir.
So, for the first part of the race, throughout stage 1 and stage 2, it was relatively tame. Your name wasn't being mentioned that much. Then there was a bit of an issue near the start of stage 3. You were up front, and then you were able to stay up there for the most part, despite all the wrecks. So, could you just quickly summarize how the race played out for you?
The first few stages, I mean, it's my first race of the year. Need to pay attention to the schedule more, I guess. But I was, in the back just trying to mind my P's and Q's and, basically try to keep my, my quick repair as long as I could because I wanted to obviously keep it. But, and then everybody else just started slowly taking each other out, and I was, eventually got up towards the front, and I guess the rest is history.
Well, last thing I'm going to ask is late in that race, we had a late caution with someone paying back someone else. Jordan Kuntz gets taken out. Do you feel like you could have had an opportunity to win that race if you had the proper track position on Jackson?
No, no. I was actually shocked that I finished second. I was figuring with everybody taking each other out, it was actually I was going to finish third or fourth, and then those two took each other out, and I figured then at least I knew I was going to either first or second, but I didn't have anything for the leader at all.
Before I let you go here, you got anyone you want to thank? Any team members? Any sponsors?
Just want to thank everybody and for letting me join, and God bless USA, I guess. I mean, I'm a United States Marine, so I love this country as much as anybody.
Thank you for your service, and enjoy that P2. We hope to see you out next week at Lucas Oil Racing.
Absolutely, I'll be there. Thank you guys very much.
Ron Holmes, the runner-up finisher for today's race.
Gonna look back to P3 in our podium spot where we are joining KBRN Zone. Charlie Baier, very fitting interview for both of us since we've been in the booth so many times. We're gonna be trackside with him this time. And first of all, Charlie, I'd say it was a beating to your race car. A beating to your race car was an understatement tonight. So many things happening along the track. So many crashes in stage 3. Just walk us through your perspective throughout the wheel and really your perspective on the whole entire stage up until the checkered flag.
Yeah, I think that race could have been 100 laps shorter because the racing was great for the first 100, but then the second half, everyone just kind of went crazy. So it's whatever. Okay. I mean, I guess we got third, but it's fine.
Well, yeah, you for sure get third, and you really had a lot to ride through, especially with that big one. You almost got turned around on your side, and a lot of things going on. You had heavy damage to your race truck, but you still managed P3 in this, and all of this, and this chaos and this anarchy. What are your expectations, or what are your thoughts now, or at least some notes that you might take going into another short track next week when we get to Lucas Oil at Indiana?
The bar is in the floor, is all I have to say, because I don't know, 200 laps is just too much. We need tire sets for this league, but I'm not the owner. I don't have any say in any of this, so I'm just going to leave it be and just see how it goes. So, great race to, Jordan, Jackson, Ty, Ryan, all those guys, Travis, Bucky, Ruben, all those guys. They had a really fun race tonight. We were really fast in the first and second stage, but, I guess it just comes down to whoever survives, so it's whatever.
All right, Charlie. Well, before we let you go here on a P3 finish trackside, you got any team sponsors or really anyone you'd just like to shout out for making tonight's effort possible?
Yeah, I want to thank my team, FCM Racing, and the team that I own, Neil Media Racing. Thanks to Appella Gaming for jumping on board for Neil Media Racing. Thanks to KBRN, Neil Media. Thanks to you guys for sticking out through this entire race and putting on a good podcast every week, because that's what you guys do here. So, great job to you guys. Congrats to Francisco for once again being in the booth, and I guess I'll see you guys whenever.
And we hope to see you next week at Lucas Oil. Of course, congratulations on your podium spot tonight, Charlie, and we hope to see you there next week and throughout the rest of the season. We wish you the best of luck. Charlie Baier finishes P3. Definitely not the night he wanted at all here tonight. Well, Francisco, 200 laps later and a checkered flag is waved. Fans are cheering, although we did have a huge crash on the back straightaway and Jordan Kuntz go up into the fence once. But what are your takeaways here tonight on our fourth short track of the season? Now, especially that we're heading into another short track come Lucas Oil in 1 week time.
I think the main takeaway is going to be that Jordan Kuntz will still be the prime driver that everyone will be trying to beat. Tonight, he was the best car. You heard Jackson mention it, that he thought he was definitely the better truck. So, looking into Lucas Oil Raceway in a week from now, I think Jordan Kuntz will definitely look to try and build on a missed opportunity. That was today's race. He was looking to go for his third straight win. But that's besides the point. This race is past us, so I think he's going to try and pay attention to Lucas Oil, try and get some good lap times down, and try and build and get another win. You saw Charlie. He was a bit upset with that finish. I think he felt like he could have gotten a bit more had it not been for the incidents that happened all the way through stage 3. So He's got a bit of a motivation for Lucas Oil Raceway. Maybe he'll be a contender. And, of course, you can't count out today's race winner, Jackson Hartman. Another short track. Maybe it's what he needs to get another win.
So Jackson Hartman takes the win, and it's going to be insane to see Lucas Oil another short track. And, of course, if you want to tune in to the next race here on the KBueno Racing Network for the TRRL eRacing Truck Series, you can do so next Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. We'll have coverage from the Lucas Oil Raceway down there in Indianapolis, Indiana. We'll have all the coverage. Francisco and I will be on the call for that one as well. So on behalf of all of them that make this thing happen here in the TRRL eRacing Truck Series, for Bucky Burr and Grayson Trexler, and for all of us here at the KBueno Racing Network, congratulations to Jackson Hartman on a win tonight here at Iowa. For all of us here at the KBueno Racing Network, for Francisco in the booth alongside me, my name is Kenneth Bueno. We'll see you next week at the Lucas Oil Raceway for race number 4.
Love to see you all there. Have a good night.